What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this one, I am going to literally show every deck that I own that is for modern format. Like, I have GOAT format decks, but we'll do that in a different video. But today I'm just going to show you guys what I'm working with, what's coming up, what I don't want to play anymore really, or what you can kind of expect to see on the channel in terms of decks. So yeah, I'm going to go through these in no particular order. There's a wide range of meta relevance. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in with whatever I just have in front of me. I just have boxes and boxes, deck boxes, my like bulk-ish deck box, and we'll just see what I have and what I'm working with. Okay, so the first one is Branded, classic of the channel, Branded Despia. It's fun. I play it every now and then. I don't consider myself like amazing at it anymore. Or I guess I never really was that amazing. I'm just good at talking about it. But yeah, I think it's just a solid option, and it always will be. And it's a great deck for me to have in my collection. So I feel good about owning it. And I don't see myself really getting rid of this deck. I have it in pretty high rarity, and the artwork is fantastic. And really, that's one of the pieces that draws me into continuing to play this deck. Is just, it looks fantastic. It's cool. I know the lines well enough where I can probably pick it up in any given Sunday, any locals day, and just take it and go have a shot. So, you know, it's one of my favorite decks. It's probably one of my top 5 or so decks, but right now, I'm not playing it too much, but I still like having it tucked away. Deck number 2 that I am playing recently is Vanquish Soul. So this is another deck that's kind of like speaks to me. It's my like mid-range deck of choice. I love the concept of the deck. I love any deck where non-engine cards, traditionally non-engine cards, are engine. And in this case, like having attributes, so having Ash Blossom or Ghost Bell actually facilitates your deck going forward. Having Shifter, like late game shifters are not totally dead because you can reveal them as dark attribute and stuff like that. So that's the kind of deck that like I really love, just mid-range and kind of unique stuff. And there's a lot of flexibility in this deck, I feel like, so we can kind of build it how we want and see where we go from there. So these are 2 of my more meta decks. Let's go ahead and see what's in this box. Okay, in this box is Orcust. Let me chuck the Harp Horror on top. Orcust has been a ton of fun ever since Harp has come back. It's a little bit outclassed right now by the meta decks, so you know it's kind of coming and going in terms of me playing it at a competitive level. Oops, hold on. This is Max. I'm dog sitting this weekend, so we have a guest in some of our videos. By the way, subscribe. I'm gonna ask for your subscription while I have a cute dog because that usually works. So if not for me, subscribe for Max. But anyway, come on, buddy. Anyway, yeah, Orcus is great, and it's going to be one of my mainstays, I think, just because of how flexible it is, and you compare it with different engines and stuff, and it's also going to be one of my top decks, and I'm kind of going in order of kind of my favorites right now, as we'll see, but yeah, next one is going to be Striker. I've been playing it lately. It's fun since I've gotten Triple Tactics Thrust, so yeah, I think it's a solid choice. Like any format, like as long as it can play so much non-engine, you're pretty much good to go with playing Striker and at least having a shot. So Striker is one of my favorites, and yeah, it kind of comes and goes, but it gets old. Like you kind of do the same thing every time you play Striker, so it's not like a super like I need to grind this deck every week to figure out what's going on. It's kind of like I played it, I know how to play it, and I'll continue playing it whenever I feel like, but it's not necessarily all the time. Next deck. You guys are here on the channel. Let me see. Where is it? Here we go. I'm going through my box here. Next deck, baby. You know why you're here. You know what the Phantom's Yu-Gi-Oh channel is all about. We got Plunder Patrol. Will forever be one of my favorite decks, and I will play this deck forever. But unfortunately, it needs a little help. it needs something. It needs some kind of tool. It needs some kind of way to keep up with the power creep that's going on in the meta game, because just going into your Jord play and having like a negate and a draw is just not cutting it lately. So that's why I'm not like playing it too actively right now. It's just not wonderful. Sometimes I'll pull it out. It depends on the meta of how good it is. Actually, this meta is actually not too bad. It's the meta with a lot of negates that is a little bit tougher, but a meta with a bunch of removal is not as bad for this deck, I feel like. So yeah, I think Plunder's in a decent spot. It's like an average spot right now, but it's kind of tough, but you know, it's fun. And you know, I'll always play it. Next one, I'm just gonna go in whatever order I grab these. Here we go. We got Chimera Fusion deck. Chimera Fusion is fun, but you know, I won a regional with it, and I haven't really played it since. Just because it's the same deck. Like, I know there's been a lot of illusion support, but honestly, those cards all suck. Like, there has not been anything worth playing in this deck. Maybe in Phantom Nightmare, that one that's that illusion monster that's a candle is gonna be kind of cool, but maybe as a one-of, the one that's like no material during battle phase, it's okay. Next deck is not really a deck per se. It's an engine, and this is Runic. And like, you know, I compare it with a lot of things: Plunder, Orchist, Chimera. I got Sprite coming out, spoilers, but could play with that too. It's just like, it's not my style, almost. I don't know. I have fun while playing it, but when I'm trying to pick a deck to play at locals, Runic doesn't come to mind. Like, I'm just like, it's okay. But the cards look so cool, and I have the whole engine, so, you know, I'm not going to complain, and I like having it as an option for the right format, but this format's a little tough for Runic as well, so, yeah, for now, it's going to stay in the deck box, but we'll see what happens. While I have it here, we're going to go almost all the way down to meta-relevant, like least meta-relevant. Magical Musketeers, my favorite deck of all time. I still have it, always will have it, and give me some support, dude. Like, please give me like a normal spell searcher for these guys, or some kind of thing. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that this deck has gotten like nothing in whatever 4 or 5 years now. Just give me something to make this, to let me play this deck again at a competitive level. That would be fantastic. And I say again at a competitive level as if I was playing it at a competitive level at some point, but not really. Next one is going to be Pure Scareclaw. I just have the Pure Scareclaw deck, don't have the Manadium stuff, but it's like a little bit, it's power crept as well. This format, not so good. Like, its main play, going into Tryhard, just gets outed by like a Fire King Kieran because it's a graveyard pop, not a on-field pop, so that's tough. It loses to Druid Swarm as well, so if you're not playing a fire deck, you still lose to Bystials, and that's tough. I don't know, it's just not good enough in this particular format, I think. Plus, with all the hand traps, it loses to hand traps pretty good too, but I have the core. It's not like I'm going to sell the core because it's not worth any money, but it's just something neat to think about. Alright, this next deck is a deck that I have never played before, but I own the whole thing now. So maybe eventually I will actually let it rip. Let me put a good card on top. Sword Soul. I own the Sword Soul deck, yes. I've never made any content about it because I've never played it. I am like excited to own it, but I just haven't had the time to learn it, just because obviously I have so many other decks that it's like whatever. I don't know. I do really want to learn this deck and play it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Maybe like I'll work on that honestly today. Just work on some combos. I need to learn the combos with the 10E cards and see what I can do, or just watch some combo videos. If you guys have a good Sword Soul player, content creator like on YouTube, feel free to link them in the comments below so I can learn some Sword Soul, because otherwise I'm gonna just have to wing it and learn it myself, which is not ideal, but certainly possible. Let me zoom out here so we can fit a few more decks on screen, eh? Next one. Let me reach. Ooh, that's not good. Let me reach into the back here. What deck is this? Hey, another deck that I own that I've never played, but I have completely sleeved up. Dinomorphia. Oops, just chucked my Stealthbergias. Dinomorphia, I don't know. If I ever have the feeling that I want to play a trap deck, Dinomorphia is probably going to be it. I own the whole thing. There's enough support for me to actually play this deck. I might do it, but I don't know. It's like, it's okay. And it just doesn't rise to the top of decks that I just have a desire to play on any given week. I don't know the deck really, so that's another kind of reason why I don't just jump over and play it, you know? So I'd have to learn it, and I'd have to kind of get into it, and probably look into builds and I don't know if there are Dinomorphia combos really, but I guess like the main line plays, I have to learn them. Otherwise, yeah, it's just going to be sitting in this box, even though I own the whole thing, whatever. Next deck. Speedroid Cash. Another deck that I own the whole thing. It's just that I've been playing Cash in a different deck than Speedroid, so never gotten around to actually playing this, but I watch all of the Winter Kills videos, all the POV Speedroid Cash gameplay. It looks like a ton of fun, but I don't know, I just haven't tried it as well. Like, you may be asking yourself, why do you own all these decks if you don't play them? I don't know, it's just like a collecting goal. Like, while I'm at locals, hey, I'm gonna trade for pieces of this deck. I finished the deck. Okay, I'm gonna trade for pieces of this other deck and finish the deck. I just like accumulating deck cores, even though I don't play them. So, you know, what can you do? But, yeah. Next one, what do we got in here? I have a bunch that are not sleeved up. Let me find like an actual almost completed deck. Okay, Exosister I have almost completed. I'm just missing the Magnificas. Close enough, but yeah. I already play a shifter deck, which is Vanquish Soul, so I don't need another shifter deck, which is Exosister. But maybe if this deck kind of gets some kind of new cards or some kind of reason to play this particular deck instead of Vanquish Soul. Like, Vanquish Soul is kind of like, it's a shifter deck but way more fun in my eyes, so that's why I've never really sleeved this up. But I did pick up all of the engine for cheap out of the Megatins, so that's why I have it. Next deck here. Ooh, this is a combo deck that I want to learn in theory, but I've never gotten around to it. It's Blackwing. Yeah. I do want to play Blackwing at some point. Like, I'm just saying the same thing for all of these, half of these decks at least. Let me chuck a card on top that you can recognize. Here we go, Full Armor Master, because I don't think you can see the Simoon. Full Armor Master on top. So yeah, what am I waiting for? Okay, so I'm waiting for a build that I like. I don't like decks that don't play a lot of non-engine, which is kind of like, hey, if you're gonna play combo, get used to it. But like, I don't know. Actually, this might be a solid format for it because we're not dealing with Bestials in the format anymore. So maybe, I don't know, it probably hard loses to Droll though, so maybe that's not good. I'd have to look into it. I have to look into how Blackwing does. What's next? What do we got here? I'm not even going to show Fire Fist, even though I have that core. Like, it's not a relevant core. I have Shadal's, Cleafort, True Draco. Okay, like, if Masterpiece comes back, let me have it. But otherwise, it's just going to be sitting in this box. Besides that, what do we have here? Oh, Tri-Brigade. Oh, yeah, never mind. Well, I'll just show that out of this box. I have Tri-Sprite sleeved up. Reason I haven't been playing this much is that it's a combo deck that, like, in my opinion, unless you're like one-tricking these combo decks, like, it's a lot of work to learn. And I change up what deck I'm playing like every week, like which deck I'm taking the locals like every week, and I just don't know the Tri-Sprite combos well enough to just go to locals and play. Like, I want to win, and I just feel like I can't win if I bring this deck unless I learn the combos better. But in theory, the deck is so cool. So I need to do that. I need to get on learning these combos, and I also need to pick up the Fire King cards because I'm thinking about playing Fire King Tri because that deck seems cool. Obviously, I'm not, oh, well, not obviously. I'm not going to pick up the Wanted spell unless it gets cheap or reprinted or whatever. So it's just going to be like pure Fire King Tri, no Wanted, no Diabellestar or anything. But like if I'm not gonna play that, why play Fire King Try? Just try Sprite, which is probably better. And yeah, maybe I'm gonna let that rip. But I also have Sprite, like the whole Sprite core. I have Runic, so I can play the Runic Sprite variants if I want. I could play like I said, try Fire King if I just pick up the Fire King cards. Yeah, whatever. Next one. Ooh, this is gonna be a new one to the channel soon. Waiting for that Phantom Nightmare pre-release, but Goaty is gonna be something I'm gonna be trying out for sure. I'll be putting out a deck profile. I like this deck because it's not solved yet. Like I feel like there's still a lot of discussion on what builds are good, what builds are not good, and you know, Runic Goaty, I can play that. Pure Goaty, I'd rather play. So it's just something that's gonna be exciting. I need to get the Keef and the what is it, Sykes, however you pronounce that. Here's a deck that's not meta relevant, unfortunately, but is super cool. Ninja. I love this deck in theory, but it's just bad. It was good for a hot second during cash format because all it does is Book of Moon everything. But yep, Ninja is here in my collection. I just don't have a reason to play that deck. It's just gonna get cooked by any relevant deck. So that's where I'm at with that deck. Let's see what else we got going on. I know I have I have another deck box, small deck box of like super irrelevant decks, but one of them that could be like relevant is DDD. I do own that deck as well, so imagine a DDD deck is in this final slot here for decks that I'm showing you guys. But besides that, actually here I do have some like loose DDD cards, so I'll just chuck a relevant one on top. Here we go. DDD is the final deck. I can actually kind of maybe dig this deck out again because it doesn't lose to Bystials well, it loses to Bystials, but Bystials aren't being played anymore really, so maybe that's a reason to get this deck out. But it does lose to Droll, and it loses to Shifter, and those are in the format, so do with that what you will. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough into a hand trap format with DDD. But anyways, these are, what, 18 decks that I own, that I want to play. But, you know, obviously I don't have time to play 18 decks, especially when, you know, only some of them are relevant at a time, and I still need to learn some of them and that stuff like that. So, generally, the top row here, Branded, Vanquished Soul, and Orcust, right now are my top played decks. I think Goaty is going to come in there shortly. I'd like to learn Sword Soul and Blackwing. I think that's going to be super cool. Oh, and Tri-Sprite, I want to learn that too at a higher level. Speed Cash is ready to go right now. Like, it's a good deck at the moment, honestly. It can play Shifter, it can just turbos out Barone. It's kind of cool, but I just don't. Like, I'm also playing Vanquished Soul, so, I mean, I'll just play that Shifter deck instead. Runics, yeah, okay, I can pair Runic with whatever. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this deck pile. Obviously, it's a ton of decks, but I'm having a fun time owning these. And right now, I think since the last time I did this type of video, I had Marincess, I got rid of that. What else did I have? Marincess at the time was relevant, and I got rid of it, but I don't remember if there's anything else that I had that I got rid of lately. I don't think so. And there's nothing I really want to pick up that's coming out. Maybe Ashened. I do really want to play Ashened, but I'm not paying $100 for Bonfires for a, like, rogue deck. You know what I mean? And by 100, I mean 300. 3 copies of Bonfire. So, yeah, Ashened is cool, but I'm not going to play it. Rescue Ace is cool, but I'm not picking up Wanteds. Pearly is possible, but it's gonna get reprinted, and then I'll get it. Let's see, what else? Anything else really come to mind? Oh, Goblin Biker might be cool. Don't really know. Yeah, so that's about it for my decks. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which decks do you want to see more of on the channel that I'm not featuring enough? I'm interested to know that. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll do another video of this kind for my GOAT format decks, because I actually have quite a few Go format decks ready to roll as well. So, yep, we'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see ya.